Hi, beautiful souls. I'm so happy to be here. It's been more than a year now. It's been a while in silence and absence, but fully present. You were all on the back of my mind during those big changes in this life, and beautiful and challenging. I have a beautiful daughter, Koloreba, who is 1 year old now, and when you're home, still in Peru, in the Sacred Valley of Urubamba, in the region of Cusco, where we have a retreat center, which has been really working out well. And so I've been doing healing and guiding spiritually more, let's say, firsthand, physically in presence with the people, but I was always feeling that, something was missing, you guys. And so I'm here. Um, I'm still finding the way to make time and the space to hold it here for you. Um, and but now that I'm doing this video, that means that I will be present. Um, I cannot say every day, that's for sure not. I'm trying for once a week, so check the channel out. This channel again is dedicated to the Pisces energy, which means all beings, spiritual, transcendental, awakening energy. So I have here a few cards. We're starting with the Oracle, and we'll see if we'll get into the tarot today or later in the month. What has come through, especially with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse that we passed this past month, um, definitely a lot has deepened and completely turned around for some. It could be externally or internally, meaning that some people could have seen the changes literally in their life, relationship changes, work, home, or others, it could have been very much inside themselves. Um, an awakening, a deepening when we feel that there's none or that we have reached a certain plateau, which, there's nothing to reach at the end. But when we feel we're at a certain, place or space, um, suddenly there's more to it. And it could have been that you guys have been feeling like a regression, spiritually regression, meaning that feeling that your mind is worse, that your patterns, your thought patterns, your karmic patterns are, again, like having done 2 steps forward and then being 10 or 20 steps back. But that was just to come back to a place that is so uncomfortable that there's no other way than to deepen. So for some of you who are perhaps still struggling with this, just know that this is what is going on. It's actually moving forward, even though it seems like the opposite. Yeah. So what has come through a lot here is new beginnings. You have here in Spanish, but I will translate for you. Hope you can see new beginnings. New camera, everything very rustic here, technologically speaking. I think you see here. New beginnings. So, new beginnings, again, physically, spiritually, emotionally, especially internally. It has to do with the future. You have the future here. So, the future is everything that is to come, the infinite possibilities that are offered to us. Sometimes we feel that, our mind is so full with planning, with vision boarding, with blah, 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 right? But we forget that the universe has its plan too. And so we need to get into the equilibrium where we feel our heart space and we have a certain vision of where we want to go, but at the same time there's nowhere to go to, and that's where we surrender to the movement of life, to the movement of God, of the universe. And so the projection to the future, we're finding that this future is more and more unknown, that is more and more, on moving waters, that we don't know where we are going to end up. And we're learning to be okay with it. And how can we be okay with it is to get into our power, Lilith. So this power is not ego power, me, I have this confidence. No, it's actually this power comes naturally when there's a surrender into this nothingness that is within us, this infinite, eternal being that we are, that can create, that can be created in any way, like in a malleable form. And that's the beauty of it, where there's no more label, there's no more I should do it this way, that way. There's just doing it, just manifesting it. You got manifestation here, and it came with this big fat moon. And this moon definitely for me has to do with, the eclipses, and that the effects of the eclipses um, are long lasting. They're not just, like for 2 weeks or something. They have to do, for months. We're still in it. And this manifestation needs our courage. So we talked about power, courage. Again, it's not so much about the responsibilities, putting up so much load on our back. I need to do this, I need to do that, this way, that way. We're actually letting go. There's like this, we are empowered in not taking the power and taking the back seat. This courage, this confidence comes from deeper, right? There's no more of this planning, of this no, this superficial, the thinking, the mind is still useful, but it's in the back seat. There's a deeper sense here of, okay, what the mind cannot perceive yet. And then this gives us, when you go deeper in this silence, you start to, it's a living, it's a feeling. Don't believe me, it's a feeling. It's a state where suddenly there's nothing here. You feel your heart, the vibrations of your heart. As you know, I've been talking a lot about this on the channel since we've been here. And you go deeper, and there's a presence that cannot be named. There's no word, there's no form. And this is, you can't even say that's me. It's all pervasive. It's inside, outside. It's so powerful because it's unlimited by this body, by this mind. And that's why it's so powerful and so confident, because it's huge. You can't hold on to it. You can't, shape it, form it, it's it's space. And so that can bring more sensitivity. That's where we can be more triggered also, and that's where the integration takes part, where you could be meditating or really focusing on just surrendering in this, but at the same time you have the challenges of the relationship, the partnership, whatever needs to be done in this physical three-dimensional field. And so those sometimes feel like they're coming against your practice, but that's where you understand that the practice is not one thing and then life is one thing. That's where it's meshed into each other. Yeah. So you understand that this discomfort, I take it all in because this is my practice. why am I reacting? Who is reacting? If I'm all space, if I'm no person, right? In this sense, if I'm no person, if I'm in touch with the divine within me, and I'm letting the universe guide all this, I'm not so much attached to the story or to whatever is happening. There's this peace, this love within that enables me, gives me the power and the confidence and the compassion to move through this life. Yeah. So we're getting into the whispers of the soul, which are definitely very, very silent, almost silent. Whereas the mind is very noisy and very loud. That's where we need to be aware of that. And there's one moment where you feel the switch. You feel in that moment you have a choice to let the thought guide you, the mind guide you, or to come back deeper. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. This is what is going on. This heaviness, this darkness, we're letting it go. We're rising lighter and lighter. When you meditate, when you go deeper, when you listen for the truth, which is wordless, that's where you go. That is where you go. And you have the water flight here that also talks about this heaviness that lifts. Burdens are cast away. Weightlessness, this spiritual space that is enmeshed in your everyday life. This opens your intuition, and you should live through that, through the intuition, no longer through the mind. So the mind drops here deeper. Spiritual evolution, set your heart free. That's it. And now the baby is awakening, so I have to go. But unconditional love, here it is. We learn so much through challenges, but through the challenge, through the hardship. And believe me, here they are, and they have been more and more calm because we're ready for them. Remember, it happens for you and not against you, always. There's an intelligence, ethereal intelligence that is here always. Let yourself be guided. Yeah, I love you. I'm here. I'll be back. This is just the start. I love you.